Hello everyone. Welcome to your 10X Agent Support Call. My name is Elena Cardone. I'm coming to you every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This call is open. It's available to all realtors out there, all agents, whether you're with my team in EXP or not. This is for you. This is to get your head right, get you succeeding in the marketplace. Winning. This is where you can come to be around like-minded individuals who want to be accountable, who want to grow, who want to succeed in spite of any sort of outside circumstances, the markets, or whatever we want to blame our lack of results on. This is where you can come to reboot, get your mind right, get some applicable data to take back into the world and go create your successful results. We're covering and have been covering for the last 8 weeks Grant Cardone, my husband's Rule to Success. So Grant put this video program together over 20 years ago. This is before Grant and I officially got together. It's always fun to look back and see how he looked 20 years ago. It's quite hilarious, but his content is very pertinent and very relevant, especially today. Even more so maybe than perhaps when he did it. The guy's always been ahead of his times. I'm a huge fan. He's been a mentor of mine. And today we're going to bring it to you, the rules of success. Number 9, Grant talks about taking responsibility for your results. This might be a hard pill to swallow, but this 12-minute video is going to break it down. And I'll tell you, if you can get your head wrapped around... If you can get your head wrapped around this content and this material, I guarantee you will be on the path for the rules of success. So let's play it. Go ahead, fellas.
For your thoughts, your words, and your actions. High-performance people take responsibility for both their successes and failures. Grant Cardone has personally taught me to take responsibility. Since meeting Grant at the age of 27, my life, responsibilities, health, happiness, and prosperity has grown, due in large part to becoming a creator rather than a victim, being responsible for myself and to others, taking accountability for my actions, my decisions, and outcomes, regardless of them being positive or negative. Take responsibility and grow. Step into your power and take responsibility.
Take responsibility for all results. High-performance, highly successful people take total responsibility for every outcome in their life. They never make excuses. They always look to themselves for being cause over a situation. They never blame other people or other things. You ever seen somebody hit their driver and they hit it right, sliced it real bad, and then they look at their club right away? Oh, wow, what's wrong with my club? I've done that before, have you? And nothing wrong with the club, folks. Something wrong with your swing. Take responsibility. You can't change the club, you can change your swing. The only things that you can control are those things which a person is willing to be responsible for. Because if it's someone else's fault, then you're out of control. I am not out of control in my life. I control everything that happens in my life. That's one of my affirmations. That's my self-talk. Hey, I am in control of my life. Because if I'm not in control and you are, if you do something, a customer does something, an employer does something, oh, it was their fault, it was her fault, it was Bob's fault, that car hit me, it was their fault, then you know what? I'm out of control. And I don't want to be out of control, because then I become a victim of situations. And I'm not taking responsibility. The only things I can control in my life are the things I'm willing to take responsibility for. Every sale that I have missed was my fault. Every complaint I have ever received from a customer, every unsatisfied customer I've gotten was about me. Every cold that I ever got, every sickness or illness I've ever got, I created. I know this is hard for some of you to imagine. Some of you are like, oh, no, hey, bad things happen to people all the time. That's not my reality. That's not my universe. If you choose for that to be your world, that's fine, but don't make me wrong. Every accident, car accident I've been in, where the police said somebody else was at fault, I created it, I was responsible. Oh man, Grant, you're getting carried away, buddy, I mean, somebody drops a bomb on a city, whose fault is that? You know what? We all create that somehow. Somebody authorized us to authorize someone else to create a bomb. You know, I've been robbed twice in my life. I was almost killed once. I caused both of them. Both of them. Both times I created it. There are no victims. There's only creators. Everything that happens to you, everything that happens to me is because of you or me. I created it. It happened to me. I'm responsible. Once you get this success lesson, you will be on the road to massive success in your life. I think this is one of the great things that keeps people from really having success and happiness in their life, is the lack of responsibility. Everything that happens to you is because of you. Everything that happens to me is because of me. So quit passing it off, folks. Quit passing it off like it was your wife's fault or your kid's fault or your husband's fault or your employer's fault. It is your deal. Watch high-performance people. Study about high-performance people. Read high-performance people, and you're going to see them say this: hey, man, I'm responsible. You'll see people like Michael Jordan. You'll see Tiger Woods. You'll see the greats in the world track every statistic they have. Every time Tiger picks up a 2-iron, he knows whether it went left, right, short, long. Every putt they know about. Track your statistics. Track all your actions. Constantly measure yourself statistically. Measure your results and measure your actions. I remember as a salesperson keeping a log. Not a log on what I sold. I kept a log on what people said to me. I wrote down every customer objection that I would hear throughout the day and throughout the week. And I came up with new ways to handle them. This is one way, or one of the things that you could do to take responsibility as a salesperson. This is the way I handled all future objections. As a salesperson, you hear all the same objections over and over. As an employer, you hear all the same problems from your people over and over and over again. Different day, different face. Oh, you know, my people just aren't productive. Why don't you track what's going on? Be responsible for your people not being productive. I own 4 businesses. I own a real estate business. I own a seminar business. I own a products business. I own multiple businesses. I own a consulting business that works with small business owners and large business owners. We're responsible. We take full responsibility. Somebody's not happy, it's our fault. Somebody's not getting production, it's our fault. Grant, that's not really reasonable. Yes, it is. That's the only thing I can handle. I have become so acutely aware of what I do to create things that I'm always in the posture of how can I fix it? How can I solve the problem? See, when a customer gives me an objection that I've written down 20 times, sooner or later, I mean, even an inadequate brain, a dumb person's gonna say, I've heard this objection 20 times, I need to come up with a response. Then I get to what? I get to start relaxing with people, I get to handle them with good control. Speaking of control, folks, you either have no control or good control, okay? You either have bad control, which is none, or you have good control, which is, hey, I'm in control of the situation. Some salespeople I know go on their whole career blaming customers. Employers I know blame their employees. Call their employees, they're bored or they're not motivated. The customers are cheap and ridiculous, unreasonable. And all you do is find more people that are cheap and ridiculous, unreasonable. The employers find more people that are, not motivated and not excited and don't know their job. These same people could spend more time taking responsibility and less time blaming. So if you're a salesperson, go create an objections log. If you're an employer, why don't you create a log of complaints that your salespeople or your employees have? What creates these objections? What creates this state of boredom for your people? I get a cold, I start looking at what was going on for me. I get sick, hey, what's going on, Grant? You know what I found? Every time I've ever gotten a cold, I was stressed out, I wasn't eating healthy, I was traveling too much, I didn't have enough fun going on in my life, I was tired, overworked, I didn't have any balance. So what do? I get a cold for a week. And then the new age people think, well, you got a cold because you need to stop, you need to slow down. No, I need to get a handle on how I brought the cold into my life. I get a flat tire, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go look for the nail that I picked up, or I'm gonna change the tire? I need to get well, folks. And then I need to take responsibility. See, this puts me at cause rather than effect. I learned that if I eat well, if I rest well, I don't create colds. The common cold, you ever heard that? The common cold, everyone gets it. No, some people get it. I don't get colds because I take care of myself. I create colds. I don't catch colds. See the difference? I take responsibility. Once I know how to create a cold, then I know how to avoid them. My father, great man, my father died at 52 years old of a heart failure. How was he responsible for that? Young woman gets cancer at 34 years old. How was she responsible? My older brother gets killed. True story. My older brother gets killed on a gas well at 25 years old. I was 20 years old. At 25, he was dead. One night I talked to him, next day he's dead. How was he responsible? Was he? Or did this just happen to him? Bad thing happens to good people. That's not what I believe. We make things happen to us. I was robbed at 23 years old. I was robbed again at 26. How was I responsible? Here's an intimate detail about me. At 25 years old, I was in a treatment center for drug addiction. Did I do that? Or was that somebody else's fault? What about earthquakes and hurricanes? You know, these major, terrible events that happen on the planet. Who's responsible? See, I believe in every situation that I just went over, the people involved or the mass consciousness that we've all agreed to create situations that we experience. In every situation, someone's belief system, someone's daily habits, your surroundings, your lifestyles, your consciousness creates your life. My dad, for instance, my dad believed, as good a man as he was, he believed you had to suffer to succeed. That was his basic belief in life. He was a great man, a fun man, people loved being around him, but he believed to succeed, you had to suffer. You can only go as far as you can suffer. What happens? His heart explodes at 52 years old, he's died, okay? He ate terrible, he smoked cigarettes, he was overweight, he didn't exercise, he was in a high-stress job, his heart says, pfft, and he dies at 52. He created that, he's responsible. A young woman's filled with anger her whole life. She stuffed all her feelings her whole life. She's lived with resentments her entire life. It starts eating her from the inside out, and we call it cancer. She's responsible. Hey, that's good news, folks. That's not bad news. Anger and resentment is cancer for every being on this planet. Both times I was robbed, I was in the wrong place. Both times, at 23 and 26, I was in the wrong place. I had money on me I shouldn't have had. It was too late at night. I was hanging out with the wrong people. I put myself in a situation I didn't belong in. You know, when I realized I was addicted to drugs and alcohol at 25 years old, I went to a treatment center. The people told me, hey, it might not be your fault, Grant. You know, there's research going on. There's a possibility that you were predisposed to a drug and alcohol addiction. You have a malady to this drug addiction. You know, hey, that sounds good, man. It was like, wow, really? It's somebody else's fault. Maybe it was the way you were brought up, Grant. Something happened to you in your childhood. Well, the truth is, you know what? I didn't deal with my stuff. Truth is, when you use drugs and alcohol every day, you end up with a problem, okay? I tried to escape life rather than dealing with life. I tried to blame you and other people in society and my parents rather than taking responsibility and escaping with drugs. I made excuses for my life. I checked out. I used chemicals to escape. You create a drug addict. I was dealing with tons of false data at that time in my life, feeling sorry for myself because of losses in my life and not dealing with reality. But what about hurricanes and earthquakes and, you know, these cataclysmic things that happen that nobody could be responsible for? I think we're responsible. See, when you don't take care of the planet, it's going to start, like, you know, operating at different levels. The earth is a living organism, right? When we abuse it, it's going to start cracking up. When large groups of people, when millions and millions of people on this planet believe bad things happen, bad things happen. Fear evokes fearful events. Bumper stickers that are negative create negative events. We are responsible, each and every one of us. We are the problem and the solution. Man told me once, Grant, you're the problem, you're the solution. I'm like, wow, that's good, man. If I'm the problem, then I get to be the solution. If I'm not the problem, I can't be. So if someone else is to blame, then you have you can't do anything about it, folks. If someone else is to blame, then you're just a victim, and there's no such thing as a victim, even in the worst tragedies. The other larger problem with not taking responsibility is that someone else is to cause something, then I have no control, and I am at the effect, the disease of other people. So, be responsible. Never be at effect, always be at cause, be 100% fully responsible for every event, good, bad, mediocre, that takes place in your life. And statistically chart out what you're doing in your life to be responsible. Bad things happen to good people? Wrong. Good things happen to good people, good things happen to bad people, you create it. Belief becomes reality. Accept responsibility for everything in your life, blame no one, and you will be guaranteed success at incredible levels.
How amazing was that, huh? Forces you to really look at your life. Where are you blaming? Is it the economy? Is it the politics? What's the reason why you're not getting where you want to be? This is the moment where you have to get real and honest with yourself and write down on paper where you're making excuses for yourself. Because when you can be put back at cause, like the cause point, if you can take just a slight gentle cause over the area, you can control the area. Grant was talking about bad control and good control. Bad control, you can't control your car drives off the road and goes into a tree. Bad control. Good control, you drive your car, you're in control of your car, stays on the lane, get home safely. So what are you doing? How can you get back into cause, which gives you control over your life? Where can you take responsibility for the areas you are not succeeding and put a little bit of control back in? Where are you cause and where are you effect? Oh, that's the result of. Because if you're effect, you can never change the circumstances. You're screwed. You're a victim to circumstance. Anything can happen to you. If you're willing to really be honest and straight and look at how you were the reason or the cause, even just slightly, then you have the potential to control any outcome that you're in. So the more areas that you can control, the bigger sphere that you can then control in your life. So look where you can take responsibility. Showing up here is a good start. This week, start finding yourself. Where are you making excuses? And just be like, I get it. I'm being effect right now. When you're being effect, you're not being cause, you're not being in control, and you're not being responsible for the condition of your financial situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Grant put it out there. Not an easy subject to confront. No one wants to be responsible for the bad things that happen in their world. But if you can start looking at your part in that, the good news is that you can then prevent that from happening again and actually take it one step further where you can actually win and thrive no matter what's happening. Whatever excuse you had before, you can continue to win and thrive because that's no longer your excuse. You're taking responsibility. All right, everybody. If you have questions, you want to become on my team at EXP, you're interested in my brokerage, reach out to Danny, D-A-N-I, Danny at grantcardone.com, and she can put you on a call with me and we can figure out if we're a right fit. We did over $1 billion in sales volume last year. We have over 700 agents in our organization. But regardless, if you're with us, without us, we're here to support you. Of course, if you decide to come on, welcome, awesome, and I can't wait to work with you and help you build your empire even further. This edition of 10X Agent Support Call was brought to you by Elena Cardone and eXp Realty. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.